Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to Monkey Shine Lab. We have been really busy lately with a whole bunch of stuff. Just opened a couple of boxes this morning. Just to let you know some of what you're missing out there. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff in from Andre and at First 117 and Nostalgic. Nas, Nazar, as I like to call him. Nazar. I specifically put a question mark on the end of it. Zar? By the way, I haven't forgotten that I didn't tell the whole story about this. Andre, can I tell this story? It's a serious question I need to ask you. How you doing, everybody? We're gonna go through some more comic books that I am adding to my collection. Andre's last shipment to me before the box opening this morning was a huge box of comics. I'm not sure what it weighed in at, but it was very difficult for our diminutive postal employee over at the office there to carry it from the back room. So there was a lot of paper involved. And I have, I think, in front of me by far the largest stack of paper yet. I have managed to bag and board some of these, but the majority of them are just, they're waiting. I have supplies on the way, and because of weather and other things, it has slowed my bags and boards down. I don't know. I guess this order of bags and boards came from Antarctica or something. But the other funny thing about that video that I put up this morning is that box from Andre, he sent that, I think, before the holidays. And it's been out floating around in the ether until it finally arrived like this week. So USPS seemingly a little less fakakta than the UPS. This is a bunch of X-Men, X-Factor. There's astonishing, there's uncanny, there's all sorts in this stack here, but hopefully I have them in some sort of order. I have never had a print of the Age of Apocalypse, and I don't know much about the X-Men from this century, basically. My experience with the X-Men was from the 80s, and that's where I got my entire collection, was when I was a kid. And I got stuff like The Brood and the whole Dark Phoenix saga and stuff like that. I bought those off the wire rack when I was a kid. But, okay, there's a bunch of Age of Apocalypse. It stretches over a couple of different titles. But this says, enter the Age of Apocalypse. Here's the Factor X of this. And I haven't done a tremendous amount of study on these books yet because, quite frankly, I've been busy with a bunch of other things. But I do want to get these finished up, bagged up and boarded up and into my collection and cataloged here on the channel. But Andre sent me some amazing books. These are largely from the 90s and stuff, the 2000s, and so they're not holding a tremendous amount of resale value, as there are probably quite a lot of them around. But these are in fantastic shape. And I'm not sure if they went across all these different, all these different titles with the Age of Apocalypse. Did you have to follow that through a lot of different lines? Is somebody out there who's into the X-Men, please comment below and help to educate me, okay? I'm serious on that. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Our son Zeb. This is the one where I did This is the one issue right here that when I was Google searching that apparently is worth a whole mess. So I'm not sure. The lowest price I think I could find on this was something like $15, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. So this is the one book out of this whole stack, really, that commanded any higher than about, $3 to $5. Again, $5 being, the outside. 2 to 3 being more, honestly, more what you're going to find for a lot of these. Another series that I started to watch once we got Hulu and all that in the house for a stretch is the Legion show from FX. I find the people in the show, I love the actors, but the series isn't really catching me very well. I'm going to read a little bit of Legion stuff here and see if it doesn't strike me a little better. This is Legion Quest 2, and then there are two copies of the end of that saga. So I have issues 2 and 4. I have 2 copies of 4. If you have the others out there and maybe you'd like to trade, let me know. I do not need more than 1 copy of any given book. And yet sometimes I do. Going over to the Uncanny X-Men for a moment. I love this cover art. I don't really care about how good the issue is or how bad the issue is or how valueless the issue is. That cover is an amazing piece of art. And that is a lot of the fun with having them bagged up and boarded up, is that they're kind of like really big playing cards or trading cards. And then you can open them up and they fold out into an amazing space of story and illusion. Moving right along, you can always get me with Ghost Rider. Always get me with the Ghost Rider. But this looks kind of fun. Ghost Rider versus Wolverine. I'm down for a little of that. Seeing as how they're both largely indestructible. But isn't everybody in a comic book in ways? Keeping going with the Uncanny X-Men, another one that I'm looking forward to reading up on here. Bishop is not a character that I am familiar with because that character came after the time period that I was collecting, but I have 2 copies of that, which is kind of nice. I'm excited to be able to read some Bishop stuff. And I've seen this issue online for a long time and really wanted to get a copy of it. And here it came in a crazy box. I mean, this just Andre's, what he does with these comic books is these are parts of another buy which he made. Okay, so he will buy into a storage locker, or he will buy into a a bin or something like that, and when he finds comic books, he tends to just send them to me because, quite honestly, they're a pain in the ass to deal with. Okay, and the worse yet than dealing with the comic books is dealing with the people who collect them. I'm sitting in front of you as one of them. I have 2 copies of that now, by the way. So really good that I didn't pick up that other copy. Moving more into the characters that I have no idea about. Long shot, you know, I'm gonna get an education out of all of this maintenance that I'm doing here. Whether it's to find out the values of things or just to find out about characters I had no idea about. And that's easy to do with the X-Men. If you're unfamiliar with the X-Men, there are, I'm not even sure, probably some 800 different given people in that comic book now. You know, I mean, and I'm not kidding. Little X-Force, some Deadpool and Domino. If you've seen Deadpool 2, it's sort of a building of the X-Force people together, and so that's how you've got Domino in here. Her power is to cast luck, bad, good or bad, on people with surprising effect. And then I am not familiar with the term shatter shot, but the 2 copies of this came in. It's a 64-page annual, and so again, when you're bagging and boarding 64-page annuals, you don't use regular bags and boards. You have to use a Silver Age, or if you have them sitting around for some stupid reason, Golden Age. But anyway, there's the X-Men Shatter Shot from 1992. And again, I would be more than willing to trade equally for the issues I do not have. And the X-Force Shatter Shot. Okay, pretty cool. And again, my experience with X-Force and X-Men and Weapon X and Exene Cervenka and no, she was in the band X, really good punk band. Look it up. Produced by Ray Manzarek. Probably one of the only things he ever did after Jim DeMorrison died, which I approved. Like he cares. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, this is in some rough shape, okay? So whatever value there was on this book became instantly way devalued. But, and I'll show you why in just a second. You're looking at it right now and you're like, wow, it doesn't look like it's in such bad shape. Okay, well, the spine, this one was well loved red. And the spine of this is completely barren of any outward paper. So what somebody thought was a good idea to do, and most people who collect comic books right now are going, they've thought putting a staple down here through the front of it to hold it together still was, you know, a way of fixing it before you sell it off to a collector. Whenever you put tape or staples or any foreign after parts on a comic book, it basically drops the value to toilet paper. You can go out and paper your outhouse in the pictures now, because that sort of alteration, use of glue, use of anything of that nature, instantly drops the value of the comic book to nil. Okay? Nobody will want it. I want it. I'll read it, but nobody else will. And my family will enjoy it long after I'm gone, when they're going through the comic books and going, oh, God, it's another box of comic books, folks. Thanks, Cameron. Don't thank me, thank Andre. Who has to tell the story of this mask? Come on, man. Make a video. I can't tell that story. You know you have to. I'm gonna put endless pressure on you. Anyway, that's what I've got for this particular little addition to my comic book collection. Thank you for sitting through it. It only took you 16 minutes, give or take, listening to my bullshit. Thank you very much for coming out here to the Monkey Shine Lab, everybody. And we really appreciate it. We really do. Thank you, Andre, again. Said your name a lot today. I can't believe that you sent me the pen. Go watch the box opening, seriously. I gotta get rid of this shit. All right, time to clean up. Bye. You're a nasty, nasty sinner.